Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. That being said, we do want to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. I happen to be Chat Daddy. I know it's been a while since I've seen you guys, but I'm so glad to be back with you this evening. We have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. I know it's been a many moons and a many Sundays since I've been here, but I am really glad to be back. Thank you guys so much for all your text messages, phone calls, gifts, greetings, just everything that you guys did during my time of being ill. We'll talk about all that tonight. Tonight is really a reunion. We've been saying we're back, and we are. Ebony and Ivory is back together again. Salt and Pepper is back together again. Peaches and Herb is back together again. Sunshine and Humidity is back together again. Our co-host, the one and only Miss K. Reneé of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Good evening, my darling. Mwah. How are you?
Mwah. Good evening, Chat Daddy. It's so good to see you, and you look great. And I was really, when I got the news, and I just got in prayer because I knew the master physician, our Heavenly Father, was going to take care of you, and everything was going to be in divine order. So it's good to have you back.
Thank you, my darling. Well, Kay Reneé, I'm glad you said that about divine order and our Grand Master making things work the way they should. I told you I had no problem with discussing what happened. I got up that particular Sunday morning. It was a normal Sunday, no issues, no complaints. I had promised a dear friend that I would make her a food item that I would bring to her house when her church was over. So, church is usually over by 1 o'clock. So I had started preparing whatever it was I was making for her. I had put it in the oven. It was going to be about 45 minutes. So I decided to have my morning cup of coffee, and I had a piece of dry raisin toast. Nothing out of the ordinary, any of that, right? So as I'm eating the raisin toast, it must have went down the wrong way. I choked a little bit. I spat it back up, didn't think much about it. About 45 minutes later, my stomach was killing me. I mean, the pain was so excruciating, all of that. And I must admit, 18 years ago, I had weight loss surgery. And as a result of the weight loss surgery, I had maybe a pea-sized hernia in my belly button. And I used to always just say the little pea-size, you know how like people play with certain things on their body or whatever, you touch it, just a reflex type of thing. Shut up. You know what I mean. So the little pea-size thing in my belly button, I just always, I knew what it was, but never thought anything much about it. Mm-hmm. Well, it ruptured Sunday. I guess me coughing to try to get that large piece of toast back out ruptured it. And that's what I ended up having, was a ruptured hernia. And by the time that I had gotten to the hospital on Sunday evening, that was a whole nother thing. It was the Sunday of the marathon. So I was on my way to a hospital that I was like, oh my God, I know it's going to be a lot of people with ankle issues, knees swollen. Mm-hmm. I was dreading going to the ER. My friend took me to the ER. We didn't even know if he could come in or not or whatever. So he left me there. Believe it or not, there was nobody in the ER that evening, but I did have a ruptured hernia, and my intestines had started coming through the hernia. And that's why I was having problems. That's why I was having problems like that. Wow. But the next morning, I kept posting on Facebook, hey, everybody, pray for me. I'm in the hospital. About 10:30 that morning, I was scheduled to have surgery between 12 and 1 o'clock. They weren't sure what time as of yet. But at 10:30 that morning, my stomach started to feel better. The intestines had went back in. The bloating was not as bad. So now I'll have the actual surgery the end of the month for them to fully repair what the problem is. They have me on a special diet and things like that. But that's what happened. That's what happened. Wow. So I thank you guys so much for your prayers, your concern. all of that. But no, I had not. I had actually had something else in the oven I was making for my dinner. And I was so worried about my Sunday dinner and how much I wanted it. I actually was mad, and I even, waited till that had cooked. And I didn't want to go to anybody's hospital. I just thought it was a bad stomach ache. But yes, it was a ruptured hernia. So thank you guys so very much. Everybody has just been so wonderful. Rhonda Ross has reached out, other people, everyday friends, colleagues, loved ones. So I really do appreciate you guys for reaching out and checking on me. And I'm not out the woods yet, but I am much better. I am able to do some things.
Well, I was concerned, and once I heard your voice, I said, God is good. But this is a cautionary tale for our viewing audience to know your body.
Yes.
When your body is out of balance, you
Right.
need to just turn within and find out what's going on, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
let this be a lesson to all of us. Whenever
Yes.
something's not right, don't put off and say, oh, it'll be okay tomorrow. Well,
Right. Yep, you're absolutely right, because you never in a
you
million
never know.
years would have told me that would have been the situation that particular day, and that would have
Right.
been what I was facing. I never in a million years thought that. So it's one of those things, kind of like if you're in your kitchen cooking and you
Yeah.
accidentally sever your finger or hit an artery or something
I
like that. And
I've done that.
right. And that's kind
I've
of what
done
that
that.
Sunday was like. I was like, wait a
Right.
minute. No, I didn't have any plans on going to a hospital so yes.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened. So, all right. Well, as you guys all know, we are a health and wellness show. This show was created at the beginning of this pandemic. And so each and every evening that we're on the air, we have been giving the latest COVID-19 update numbers. Kay Reneé, there is so much you and I need to talk about since the last time we saw each other.
Oh goodness.
So I think I'm going to start off with the COVID numbers, and then we'll start with the top news story of the day. Illinois
Yes.
public health officials reported 1,372 new confirmed or probable cases of COVID-19 as of Monday. And we had 8 related fatalities as a result of COVID. The death rate is going down, and it seems as if the cases of COVID is going down as well, too. Monday's new case numbers are the smallest one-day increase since July 26th of this year. Monday's number tend to have smaller increase and are a reflection of lower numbers of the number of test positive rates. So the test positive rates are definitely on the decline. There has been a total of 1,671,275 total cases, which includes 25,470 deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. The statewide positivity rate for October 11 through 17 is 2.4%. As of Sunday night, we now have 1,417 patients in the state of Illinois who are in the hospital with COVID-19. Of those, 338 patients are in the ICU, and 168 patients are on ventilators battling COVID-19. Statewide data now shows that 63% of Illinois' population has been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. All right. So that's where we are with the COVID numbers. Now, the number one news story that all of us woke up today to, and the crazy part is that I knew about his death quite early this morning, but it was slow to gain traction on the national media outlets. It wasn't until about the 9 o'clock hour that the media outlets were really talking about it. But General Colin L. Powell, former U.S. Secretary of State and chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, passed away this morning at the age of 84 due to COVID-19. And this was released on the Facebook page on behalf of the Powell family, and noting that he was fully vaccinated. Okay, Reneé, this is some tough times right now. What do you think? And I know how much you love Colin Powell,
Oh
what
my
he
God.
meant to you. So I'm gonna let you take over and just talk about the life and times of the son of Jamaican immigrants.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, let's just send love and healing and support to his widow, his children, his grandchildren. Um, I was in shock because I was starting my morning routine. I usually have the television on and watch Good Morning America. Literally, it was after 7 a.m. they broke the news. And I was on the phone and I screeched, and my girlfriend's like, "What's wrong?" I said, General Powell is gone. And then, hearing that he transitioned due to COVID-19 complications and the fact he was fully vaccinated. But of course,
Right.
the backstory of that is the fact that he was immune compromised. He had a
Yes.
blood cancer, uh,
Absolutely. Multiple multiple
myeloma,
myeloma.
right,
Absolutely.
which form of blood cancer. And as you know, it just kind of it triggered for me because my beloved father also had a blood cancer, myelofibrosis, which is part of that family. And
And I
so,
battled with a blood cancer as well too. Right.
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So, in hearing this, and a part of me just thinking, there have been some Facebook friends who had the privilege and the honor to meet him. That was one person I would have loved to have met, because even though he was a statesman, he was a true leader, but all important, he was a soldier, a good
That's right.
soldier at that.
Yes, he
He
was.
dedicated his life to serving others and serving this country. Now, of course, the pundits are going to say, well, you know what happened when he made a speech at the United Nations regarding the Iraqi war, and didn't have the correct intelligence on the weapons of mass destruction. A true leader will acknowledge when he's wrong. And he
Hmm.
had the interview sat down with Barbara Walters and saying that, because she asked him, what do you think about that? And he was like, I made a mistake.
Right.
What can you say about that?
That's right. We're
Um,
all human. We're all
we're
human.
human.
That's
So
right.
the
Yes.
the fact that he dedicated his life, he served under 4 presidents.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
The
did.
fact that he came from New York, was from the Bronx, um, had a wonderful wanted to join the ROTC. That's why he got his purpose in serving others. Married his beloved Alma, served 2 tours of Vietnam, served
Absolutely.
under,
Yep.
again, Nixon, Carter, both Bushes, uh, Barack Obama, President Obama. And here's the thing: he was a Republican, ladies and gents. Everybody had wanted him to run for president. He was like, "No, I don't think so." I remember the interview that he interviewed with Jake Tapper when he endorsed Biden for president last
Right.
year. And
Hmm.
he said, not to break ranks, but he was being honest and living his truth. So for me, and well, hopefully we'll talk about. He has 13 rules to live by. I want to circle back to talk about that, because when I read that, I said, "Oh, these are some great rules that all of us should live by." But
Absolutely.
the fact that he lived to be in his 80s, he made a difference in this world.
He
And for
did.
that, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful he lived his dash. And now we're living in very unprecedented times, but I will say this, ladies and gents, whatever it is that you want to do, don't wait. Time is not promised, and tomorrow's not promised. Do what you have this passion to do. He had a passion to serve, and he
Yes.
served well.
Right.
So as you always end, whenever we have transitions, you post them. Well done, well done, General Colin Powell. We
Absolutely.
salute you.
Well, just so everybody knows that he was the youngest and first African American chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President George H.W. Bush. He became the first Black national security advisor during the end of the Ronald Reagan presidency. As you said before, he went from combat duty in Vietnam to becoming someone of this caliber and stature. He was a contender to be the first Black president of the United States and decided not to. Just a tremendous career. I love how today they went to a school out in Madison that is named after him, or as they said, Madison,
Madison, yes, get
in
it
South
right.
suburban Illinois. Right, Matson, honey, is what I call it.
Right,
but
it's
they call it
Matheson. Trust me.
it's Matheson, honey. That's Matheson out there. That's what that is. With a Holiday Inn and the Bar Louis. That's
I know
Matheson.
where it is.
Matheson, right. Well, okay. We'll leave it at that. But let's get back to Taylor.
Otherwise, the village president, who I know very well, she'll come after you. So let's say
Oh,
it
okay.
right,
Okay. So
Matheson.
what Matheson. Matheson.
Matheson.
Yes. Yes. Amen. All right. See, we've been mistreating it for so long. Forgive me, Madam
Okay.
Village President. Yes. I want to be welcomed in Matheson. Yes.
Yes.
The children spoke so eloquently about him, the administrators today, the fact that he came to the school, did not want any media attention. He had a love and infinity for children. I was noticing where a couple of our noted photographers here in the Chicagoland area had taken pictures of him, and they were just saying what a stellar gentleman he is and how wonderful he is and just all of that. And so he truly, truly will be missed. For being just that type of person and such a trailblazer in everything that he went out to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Yes.
just, another legacy. And in fact, my nugget tomorrow is going to talk about integrity, which he
Right.
had a lot of. And
Yes.
so we can learn a lot from him. And as I said before we end our broadcast, he had 13 rules to live by. And I want to talk about those 13 rules.
All right. Absolutely. We'll definitely cover those for sure. Well, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Mr. Colin Powell. Truly a shock. Well, now, Kay Reneé, I want to get back on the COVID situation. Now, even though he was battling blood cancer, even though he had Parkinson's, I just cannot believe, and then here we are right now where the city of Chicago is faced with a situation of we could have a shortage of Chicago police officers who don't want to get vaccinated. I've been seeing on television where officers have been signing off, on their phone radios in the car just because of the vaccine. What do you think about all of this?
A part of me is like this. I feel that if you're in public service and you deal with the public on a regular basis, you need to get vaccinated. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in the house 100% of the time or the majority of the time, you have a choice. But if you're a public servant and you're serving the public, and being a police officer is hard enough as it is. And I don't know the actual statistics, Art, but more cops are dying of COVID than anything else because they're not vaccinated.
Okay, so now don't misquote me, but if I'm not mistaken, I saw on the news this weekend where 700 and maybe 90 police officers have died during this pandemic due to COVID.
Right.
To me, that's alarming right there. That's alarming.
That's a no-brainer. If you serve the public, wherever you serve, whether you're a fireman, police officer, first responder, you need to be vaccinated because you're dealing with the public on a regular basis. And you're putting yourself, your family, and the society at large at risk.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you're absolutely right about that 100%. But I don't know. Now here's the deal. Are you getting ready to fire and get rid of people? Because now what would make a difference between me saying for religious reasons, I can't get the shot? Or what would be the difference with me saying for health reasons? I know of a situation right now where I know someone whose doctor does not recommend them getting the shot because of what they're currently going through.
And they have to prove that. They have to get evidence to that point. And if it's truly for health reasons, I'm sure it's understandable. But then they're limited in what they can do, right?
Right.
So, but if you're out in the streets on a regular basis, you need to get vaccinated. And I do not envy Mayor Lightfoot right now. I just don't, because she has to deal with not only that, then to deal with a crazy FOP president and whatever his name is, Frank, whatever the heck his name is,
who now wants to run for mayor.
Check that out, ladies and gents.
And he said the other day in a press conference, I find this awfully funny. Nobody's talking about the number of children that's been murdered. Nobody's talking about the number of expressway shootings. Well, here's the deal. I need to see more cops on the street. I need to see more beat patrol cops. I need people are driving like fools in this city.
Okay.
All kind of just outlandish behavior. And just today, a cop was shot in the parking lot of a
Yes.
mall up north. Look, it was a
Right.
lady on TV, baby. That lady today was like, honey, we moving. That lady was like, we're moving. She was like, I was sitting in my living room. And when I saw the shooting, she was like, oh no, this house is up for sale. So whoever her husband is, he gonna have to start house hunting tonight. Because she was like, I'm not having it. And again, that's a very taunty, expensive neighborhood.
Oh, I know where it is too, because
Right,
I would
baby,
go
that's a
shopping
very,
there.
me too.
Yes.
Me too. Matter of fact, one of my favorite restaurants is right in that parking lot. So
Yes.
just a mess in many different ways. So I don't know. It's not easy at all, but get the shot is what I keep telling people. Get it so we can move on.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, yeah, and if you are tested positive, then again, your employer or whatever you need to do will help you quarantine until you're able to get better. But when you're a police officer, I think we should have you should think about finding a police officer. What do you think? I mean,
Right.
to get their perspective.
Well,
And
actually,
maybe we're not seeing.
I'm having dinner with a cop friend of mine very soon, and I am
Okay.
going to talk about, find out what the behind the scenes scuttlebutt is,
Hmm.
and I'll get back and report it to you because I'm sure she'll share with me intimate details about what's going on.
Because maybe we're missing something, but I just believe that if you're going to be in the public eye, if you're going to be in the public, you need to get vaccinated. You
Right,
just do.
right. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. Preston just said it best. He said, just comply, just comply. It's just
That's
that
it.
simple, that easy. I mean, we've heard of nobody having rubella flu or polio or any of the things that supposedly we all got vaccinated for many years ago. So I
Right.
don't know. All right. Well, Kay Reneé, what else you got in the news? I know you got a bunch of stuff in your trick bag of gossip and all of that good stuff.
Well, since when we were out, somebody flew up to the left here in Florida. No, not Florida, Texas, and
Texas.
he's now the oldest person to go into space. And I remember the story when we were last on the air that he got a little belligerent with one of the news anchors commenting that he was the oldest person to go in space. Now that he's done it, he's like, oh, he's so humble, and I'm
Right.
so glad that I did it. Captain James T. Kirk, better known as William Shatner, was able to fly into space last week. He is the oldest living person to do so, and he flew up there, came down safely. So now he can say, I'm trying to remember the beginning music of Star Trek, but now he can actually say it, right?
Yes,
And I'm
yes.
sure Leonard Nimoy and Gene Roddenberry, when he went up there, they probably were letting him know, welcome, William, and then brought his butt back down. So
Right. Well, I think of the music "Rocket Love" by Stevie Wonder. That he went up and was dropped back down to this cold, cruel world. It was Jeff Bezos that he was with, correct? Jeff Bezos.
Correct.
Okay. What I
Yeah.
thought was so funny was that he was standing there trying to express himself and trying to talk. Jeff Bezos was like, "Where's the champagne? Bring the champagne on over here. Bring the champagne." And look, he was like, He was so verklempt from that whole situation that he was just like, wow, wow. And I'm like, UK Reneé, now he's accepting the fact, yes, sir, you were the oldest person to go up there. That was
Hello.
not a cheap mission. What was the
Okay.
entire journey? About 10 minutes. And I can
Right.
only imagine, like, that had to have been 10 minutes of your life flashing before your eyes, darkness, just all of that. And then to experience that and come back down, I'm sure he probably didn't sleep for a couple of days after that because it had to been just incredible,
I agree. Now I guess I would ask the question. Go where no man has gone. Thank you, Miss Candace. That's right. And he did.
He did.
If you had the opportunity, would you do it?
Okay, so you and I have talked about this when this first started and people wanting to go to the moon. I actually had this conversation with my friend over dinner Saturday. I'm a thrill seeker. I'm one of those people that I want to be able to say that I've done everything before they put me 6 feet under. Going to the moon, I don't necessarily know if that's what I'm looking to do right now. Like if you go up there and show me what it looks like and everything is cool and all of that, I don't know. My nerves now are bad. I don't know. No. I
You
don't
know,
know. Yeah.
for me, I can appreciate the galaxy. I can appreciate what God has given us.
Right.
Thank you. The final frontier. But
Right.
my bucket list, honestly, is not going to the moon. My bucket list is to be traveling over across the ocean to the Amalfi Coast in Italy. That's where I want to go. We are,
Right.
you know, I can
Yeah.
look up and see the beautiful stars and see the Big Dipper and all the constellations and all that. No, and I'm like you, Preston. Not saying my nerves are too bad. I'm kind of leery of heights. You know, that's why you will never
Oh,
see me doing a roller coaster. None of that.
okay.
You know, I
Okay.
won't do that. So, you know, if I did anything, I will go up to the elevator with the Willis Tower or Sears Tower, I should call it. That I would do, but to fly to the moon, no, not so much. I applaud
Now,
people who
here's
can
the
do
deal.
it.
I'm not so much afraid of heights like that because I have friends that live on 50 floors. At one point I lived high up. I have people that have wonderful balconies and rooftops. That part I'm okay with. I just think I'm gonna be honest, like even friends of mine that own boats now. I'm like, okay, now I don't want this fool to get out here and drink too much, or this fool not see the break wall. I think I've gotten that old person's. Oh, and I hate to say it, like Preston, help me, Preston. Preston, know what I'm talking about. My nerves have just gotten to the
Season.
point now. Yeah, that right. Yes. You know, my friend asked me the other night about things that I would and would not do, and I'm like, guess what? I'll be the best photographer for all that stuff you want to do. I'll hold your jacket. Like I tell people, I'm the person that go to Great America now and hold everybody purse and coat.
Thank you. Or I'll be on the kitty merry-go-round, but you ain't getting me up in no damn American Eagle. Because I'm telling you, when I'll never forget 8th grade senior trip. Everybody wanted to go to Great America. My girlfriend's like, let's go on the Eagle. The night before, I dreamt I had died on that. I said, oh no, we ain't touching that. And
Oh Lord.
I flown did another roller coaster. It scared me shitless. I said, oh,
Since
I
the
can't do
eighth
this.
grade, you have not done another girl, we gonna
Eighth
do
grade.
honey, we gonna do a lifetime special on everything you were not done.
I don't do no roller coaster. And one of my beaux, he said he was kind of shocked. He said, You're the one that's adventuring." I said, "Look, I know my limits. See, I don't do roller coasters."
Oh my God. Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
heck, when you date a man, depending upon it could be a roller coaster in itself.
Well, that can now. Don't get me wrong, that really can now. But okay, all right, all right. So, yes. So no, I don't necessarily know if I'd be in any particular hurry to go to the moon.
No.
Right now I wouldn't mind going to Cairo, Egypt.
Right.
Dubai. A safari desert, or
Right.
any of that stuff. But no, I don't know if the moon is necessarily where I want to go right now.
No. Because I mean, in the end of the day, when we leave here and become spirit, guess what? We'll be up in the moon anyway. Now,
Right, right. If not, we'll be down in a fiery pit of hell. But I mean, either way, either way.
right.
Right. I love you, Preston. He said the things we don't do anymore. Right.
That's
Yeah. I'm
right.
like, somebody help me. Y'all know what I mean. I don't mean old people problems, but I'm like,
Right.
I ain't trying to do that either.
I ain't trying to do
Well,
that.
speaking of travel problems, actress Holly Robinson Pete recently had to take to social media to let an airline have it for something that they did. Actress Holly Robinson Pete, who has recently wrapped up her latest Hallmark movie. As you guys know, Christmas is right around the corner. Well, Holly Robinson Pete two sons were leaving Canada, headed back to Los Angeles. They were flying alone. You know, one of her sons is a young adult. Her other son is a minor. When they got to the airport to be able to fly home, the gate agent asked them to produce a credit card that paid for the tickets. And I'm sure Holly Robinson's children probably was not flying on $29 fares. I'm not surprised if they weren't in first class. If not, I'm sure they were in great seats or whatever the case may be. Well, the agent denied them boarding. So, okay, Reneé, go ahead and bring that story up, and then we're going to talk about it.
Well, basically, and I'm gonna say the airline because I've flown on Air Canada, and I like
too.
Air Canada.
I have too. I've flown internationally
when I've read this story, I was not pleased. Well, and basically, I mean, and she went to Black Twitter, Miss Holly Robinson Pete, and said that they refused to fly her two sons, and because she said that she's traveled with Air Canada for 35 years. And she wondered why did they refuse. They still wouldn't tell her why. And they were forced to put them up. She had forced to put her sons up in a hotel for the night before they were able to fly back. And I'm wondering if it's a little
racism. Well, I hope it's not a little racism. I know one thing, I'm sure Air Canada has rectified the situation to no end, because when she took to social media, it picked up legs. Quite a few media personalities, quite a few media sources ended up picking up the story. And so, it's sad that the gate agent did do what she did. Or whatever their highest level would be. So I just find that so strange that they would, do whatever it is. And I've been traveling many times and not had the ticket, the credit card. Somebody else paid for the ticket for me, all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. That's just weird in itself. Really weird and really questionable, to say the least. Well, when I went to Atlanta and stood in line for 2.5 hours for a rent-a-car in Atlanta, I was fit to be tied when that happened. And guess who also experienced that same situation? Actress Audra McDonald went to Atlanta. Look, had to been weeks after I was there. And she took to Twitter and expressed her anger and frustration. Like it was like the apocalypse. No rent-a-cars. People were standing in line for hours, all of that kind of stuff. So I just think right now the airlines and car rental companies are just not equipped to handle all of this, surge in travel, and then discrimination and then let's look at the air rage. And so it's just a lot to look at.
Again, I think people need to just take a chill pill. But unfortunately, when you've been cooped up for almost 18 months, when you're ready to get out, folks just go buck snit wild. I don't know what else to call it.
That's right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Well, I'm sure she'll take care of that. Well, Holly Robinson is on tour right now promoting her latest Hallmark movie, which she officially dedicates to her 23-year-old son, Rodney Pete Jr., or RJ, as they call him, who is on the autism spectrum. And she is touring now. She and Wyndham Hotels have created these lovely holiday suites. As you guys all know, the Hallmark movie channel really loves Christmas. So you now will be able to stay at select Wyndham Hotels and be able to reserve one of the Hallmark suites that are decorated so beautifully for the holiday season. So it's one in New York and 3 other places in the country. So if you're a lover of Christmas, and I see what you're thinking. I see what you're thinking.
Let me just say this. For me, Christmas is very challenging because my beloved mother transitioned on Christmas morning. But I'm also grateful that I'm able to slowly get past that, and I'm thinking, I said, maybe to do a different tradition for me to go to one of those hotels and kind of stay and think of, honor my mom.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. That would be really, really nice. Okay, well, look into it. Congratulations to Holly Robinson Pete on the release of
Yes.
her latest Hallmark movie. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about it very soon. All right, girl,
Mhm.
what else you got in that gossip bag? Dig on down in there
Well,
and pull some out,
this,
something else out.
this not gossip because this happened recently.
Oh,
Another a former leader was in the hospital. He had a
yes.
UTI. He's been discharged now, but that picked up legs very quickly because I said, what?" But apparently, former President William Jefferson Clinton, better known as Bill Clinton, or the first black president that we had, was discharged.
Figuratively speaking, yes, our first black president. Yeah.
Was discharged Sunday morning because he was in the hospital due to a non-COVID related infection earlier last week.
Hmm.
And I saw, it's interesting. I saw on social media, I think it was April Ryan. I saw on her Instagram page where she actually had a video of former President Clinton, former Secretary of State, and his lovely wife Hillary Clinton leaving the hospital, and you could tell he was not 100%. He was walking a
Right.
little slow, but I was telling you over the phone. I said this man is 75. I
Yes.
remember he was back in the day when he was before he ran for president, and I said, and I remember I have this vision of him playing the saxophone at Arsenio Hall. I was like, check him out, but he's 75 years young,
Yes, he is.
and
Yes, he is. And that's what a lot of people, people as time goes on, people get older, they start to age, they have health issues. I'm just
mm-hmm,
glad that former President Clinton, it's only a urinary tract infection and that he will be able to get back out and do what he needs to do. But
yeah.
yeah, that was quite a shocker when we heard that. And then, we're holding our breath, hoping that nobody says COVID, 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 COVID.
What
The reporters are quick to say non-COVID
not
related.
COVID, right? But a
That's what I used to say in
UTI,
my post when I was in the hospital. Not
right? I
COVID.
remember
Not
that.
COVID. They
But
tested my ass so many times. Yes, go ahead.
But no, I was saying a UTI can be just as dangerous because I do recall when my mom was in the hospital, she was very susceptible to UTIs, and so even then, you have to just be any type of infection that you receive that's internal. You've got
Right.
to be very careful. So
Yes.
I'm glad that our former president, has been released, and
Yes.
he's resting comfortably. I'm sure he'll be back in Westchester County with him and Hillary and Chelsea and the grandkids real soon. But
Yes.
again, this is another example. People, when you're out of balance physically, um, check yourself. And if it's something wrong, go see a doctor and find out what's going on. And yes, Preston, Jimmy Carter, he just had a birthday. He's, I think, what, 97, 98?
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my
He's
goodness.
hanging in
So,
there as well too, and still very active, or
yes,
at
he
least
is.
tries to be. Yes. So
Yes,
I
he
think
is.
that's very noble of all of these gentlemen and ladies for continuing to fight the good fight and try to stay as alive as long as they most possibly can. All right. What else you got in that gossip bag?
Well, this is not gossip. This is real. Earlier this summer with Haiti, what happened with the president, he got assassinated, then the um, earthquake. Well, it seems as if gangbangers have kidnapped, I didn't stutter. Gangbangers kidnapped 17 American and Canadian missionaries over the weekend.
I saw that. Very heart wrenching. Very
And
heart
I
wrenching.
guess the name of this gang is called 400 Mawazo. They abducted the group. Which included 16 Americans, one Canadian, and there were 5 children. These missionaries were visiting an orphanage in Croix de Bouquet, a suburb of Port-au-Prince, which is the Haitian capital. So the FBI, the State Department, both in U.S. and Canada, are trying to negotiate with these. I like they terrorists as far as I'm concerned, because
Oh, very much so. Very
when
much
you
so. I'll let
kidnap
nobody fool you.
missionaries, then that's a
Right.
problem.
Right.
But it seems like I saw on CNN one representative from Port-au-Prince was saying these gangs are just being more and more relevant and prevalent in Haiti. And I just I pray for the families. I pray that they're safe return back to the United States and Canada respectively. But that's just really sad.
Yes, it really is. It really, really is. Oh boy. What else you got?
Well, and then too in national news, we got the jury selection of Ahmaud Arbery, so that's going to be really interesting too. As we all know, what happened where he got shot. He was jogging, looking at a house, and these three fools, I like to call them, they thought they were trespassing, and they were going to use self defense to shoot and kill him because one of the perpetrators is a father and son.
Right.
So jury selection is about to take place in Atlanta regarding the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. So this is going to be
Because
really
now this didn't
interesting.
happen in Atlanta. This happened in a suburb or either outside of Atlanta.
It did.
I
It
almost
was.
want to
Yeah.
say, okay, yes. But that's going to be catchy as or tricky as well too to select the right jury, depending on how people feel about this, because we want justice for this young man's death.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
you're right; it's going to be a hotbed issue very soon.
And similarly to George Floyd, folks, everybody going to be watching this.
Right. Yes, I agree with you 100%. They are. They're going to be watching this to see how this all pans out. Yes. All right. What else?
I think, let's see. I'm trying to think. I think I covered all the news reports. We talked about Chicago with, oh, speaking of Chicago sports, the WNBA, we have a new world. We have a champion in the Chicago Sky. Won the WNBA championship yesterday. Woo-hoo! The
Yes. Very good.
women's got that ring, and they're going to celebrate tomorrow. So congratulations to the Chicago Sky. There were so many people at the game yesterday, just
Yes.
cheering these ladies on, and led by Candace Parker, went to Naperville.
That's right.
And so I think it's Naperville North in which she went to school, but
Yes. Yes.
those women weren't playing. They beat the Phoenix Mercury 80-74, I believe,
Uh-huh.
and they did it. So congratulations to the women of the Chicago Sky.
That's right. Congratulations to those wonderful ladies. They raised the roof on the Wintrust Arena. As
Yes,
you
they
said, it
did.
was everybody and their mama was out to celebrate and
Okay.
party with them. And we are very proud of the accomplishments of those young ladies. Tomorrow, there will be a celebration in Millennium Park, the Pritzker Pavilion. I'm sure there'll be a parade. From my understanding, it's going to be beautiful weather tomorrow. And we are very proud and excited. And then what I love more than anything, Miss Candace Parker and her posse went to Portillo's last night to get them something to eat. And
Yes,
she
they
was
did.
talking
Yes,
about
she did.
Portillo's early on in the season. And
Mhm.
now that she's mentioning them again, Portillo's need to give her chocolate cake for the rest of her life.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And she needs to be in some type of ad or promo for Portillo's.
Well, now I would tell Candace, listen, if you go public with stock, give me some stock. How about that?
Yes, yes, very good. Very, very good. All right.
And guess what
Anything? Yeah.
else?
What?
Yes, I heard this today. Guess who set a new Guinness World Book record?
Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Guess who set a new Guinness
Guinness
Book
World
World Record? Say
Yes.
that 3 times with a shot of tequila. Guess
Mhm.
who broke a Guinness Book World Record? Who
Yes.
did that?
Tony Bennett.
Really? How?
The Grammy Award winning singer just set a Guinness World Record for being the oldest person to release an album of new material.
Really? Wow.
Love for Sale, a collaboration with none other than Lady Gaga, was
Who's in
released on
residency in Las Vegas right
right
now, and she'll
was
be there till the end of November, I think. Yes.
was released on October 1st, and at the time Bennett was 95 years and 60 days old, according
Wow.
to Guinness.
That is
So,
beautiful. Truly an
con-
icon, truly a
yes.
legend. Love for Sale. I just love that. Timeless classic music. But when you listen to a lot of that music is so funny. Love for Sale. Love for Sale.
We could go down a different path about that, but
Right.
I'm gonna
Then
keep it nice.
all I think about is Ashford and Simpson. On any street, Any street called love. Hey, on
On
any street
any
called
street
love.
corner.
Yes, yeah. So I'm like, love for sale. How about on any street called love? Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I gotta see if I can download that to hear, because I love Tony Bennett and I love the
I do too.
collaboration that he and Lady Gaga, the friendship that they had. Because I think I posted on my social media, it probably was a week or 2 weeks ago, about his collaboration with the Queen of Soul. And I
Yeah.
was just taken aback. I was
Right.
like,
Right.
did Auntie Riri just do this? And
Right.
I just was, I had just a newfound respect for the Queen, because she was like that. She would collaborate with anyone and just knock it out the park.
Preston come talking
So
about, do you accept link? Yes, Preston, if the price is right and you got enough on your link card. How about that? On any street called love. I'm sorry, darling. I digress. I just had to get that in there. Thank you,
oh
Preston. Yes,
goodness.
right. But you know what? I was looking at an interview recently that was talking about, they were actually interviewing Lady Gaga and talking about Tony Bennett. And as we all know, he's suffering with Alzheimer's. And she says that the cutest thing is that he knows what to do when he goes out on stage, because it's in him. It's repetition. It's all of that.
Right.
But a lot of times when she walks out, he's surprised. Like,
Right.
oh, and they were saying that it adds to the show. And then she kind of gauges where he is with everything, but he does not miss a beat. But she said, there had been times when he come out on the stage and like, oh, like, and right. So that's the magic of Tony Bennett as well, too. So yes, very good. But no, I'm very happy about that.
I'm hoping I'll get a chance to see him. I would love to see him perform before he leaves here. So
yeah.
I gotta make
he's
a
fan favorite at Ravinia. He's on, every summer pretty much they've had Tony Bennett at Ravinia.
Well, if he comes in 2022, I'm there. I'm going.
Very good. Well, it's a date, darling. It's a date.
Yes,
we have a date to go see Tony Bennett.
Yes.
All right. What else we got tonight? We got to cover some more things tomorrow night. But what do we have tonight? And then I want you to give the 13 things that Colin Powell said we need to live by before we get out of here.
We can talk about that now. Did you have any other stories? Because I'm
good for tonight. I am. We
okay. Well,
we got more to talk about tomorrow as well.
And as we mentioned in the top of the hour, that one of a statesman, a good soldier, but more importantly, a good man, has now joined part of our ancestors, General Colin Powell. But the one thing, he talks so much about leadership. Yes. And I didn't know he had these 13 rules to live by. So I'm going to present that to our audience. So the first one, it ain't bad as you think. It will look better in the morning. Remember, there's
now, baby, I really need to live by that. Right.
There's a silver lining in every cloud. You just have to find it. So that's part of rule number 1. It ain't bad as you think.
Right.
It will look better in the morning.
Yes.
Number 2, get mad, then get over it. Enough said. I don't need to say anymore.
Get mad
and then get over it.
Okay. All right. I agree. Yes.
Number 3, avoid having your ego so close to your position that when your position falls, your ego goes with it.
Oh, honey, I know so many people like that. I know so many like that. Absolutely.
And your little sister is the acronym QUEEN, because ego to me stands for edging God out. So y'all work with that one. All right.
Yes.
Number 4, it can be done.
Yes.
Just like anything else. Think about this, ladies and gents.
Yes.
This show was created out of the pandemic. It can be done.
It's still around and can be done.
How about that?
Whether 10 or 10,000 watch, it can be done.
It can be done.
That's right. Yes.
Number 5, be careful what you choose, as well as who you choose, but be careful what you choose. What he means by this is don't rush into a bad decision. Take the time to consider your options, weigh the facts, and make reasoned assumptions. Once you pull that trigger, though, there are no do-overs, so make it count.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Okay, very good.
Number 6. Don't let adverse facts stand in the way of a good decision.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep,
Mm.
I'm with you.
Number 7. You can't make someone else's choices. Because remember, you're responsible for yours, but you can't make someone else's choices.
Right.
It got to
Yep.
be about you.
Yep.
Number 8. Check small things. And this is something that you are very good at.
Yep.
They say the devil's in the details, madness in details. You got to check those small things.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
Every day. I've been so detail oriented like that since I was young, and a
yes,
majority of my public jobs, it was about detail. It was about that
exactly.
minor little detail
Same,
that people tend to miss. Absolutely. Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Number 9, share credit. Enough said. It
Yes.
ain't
I
all
agree.
about you, because the only way
Right.
you're gonna get to where you're going, you got to bring. Sometimes you got to bring that tribe, whether they're small or large. You need to share the credit.
That's right.
Number 10, remain calm. Be kind.
Yes, I couldn't agree.
Kill them with
More,
kindness.
kill them with kindness. Kill them with
Yes.
kindness. Kill them with kindness, and show them that you are still viable. Yes.
Yes. Number 11. This is for both of us. Have a vision. Be demanding.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. That's right. That's right. Subpar just will not do. Have a vision, know what that vision is, and demand excellence from everyone. Absolutely.
Amen.
I agree with you on that 100%. And the late, great Colin Powell. Yes.
Number 12. Don't take counsel of your fears or naysayers. Remember, ladies and gents, fear can be a very powerful motivator, but it also can paralyze a leader at the worst possible time. So don't
Right.
let fear, false evidence appearing real, be a naysayer.
That's
You got
right.
to just embrace it and keep it moving.
Yes, you do. You do. You really do.
And the final rule that he lived by: perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. So remember, optimism is very infectious. So when you
Okay.
maintain a positive attitude and an air of confidence, that's just as important for you as those around you.
Right.
People will feed off that optimism, which is very true.
Yes, you're
So believe
absolutely
in your
right.
purpose, believe in yourself, and believe in your people. And guess what happens? They will believe in you.
Very good. Well, I was expecting Lena Horne to come behind you and sing "Believe in Yourself." I was just expecting, all right, because you did that, and those were all written by the late great Colin Powell.
From his memoir. Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. Just
Yep.
absolutely. And that's really everyday realistic advice that
Absolutely.
we should rise up on. You know, October is positive mind thinking. And next Tuesday, I'll be back on Daytime Chicago talking about things that people can do to increase their mind and being more mindful when they get up in the morning. So I'm looking forward to that. So that was great. But yes, next Tuesday, I'll be back on Daytime Chicago.
Yay. So proud of you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you
So
so
proud.
much. Well, sweetheart, it is time for one of your delicious and wonderful nuggets.
Oh,
And
yes.
so tonight's nugget is all about what?
It's all about this because it's Motivational Monday. And it's what's so interesting, Art, when I did this nugget early this morning and then get the news about General Colin Powell, it just really was in sync. And here's the nugget: it is better to have a meaningful life and make a difference than to merely have a long life. Again, this is Motivational Monday, hashtag make a difference.
Very
Make a
good.
difference.
For more information about yours truly, please visit karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. That's karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. She has wonderful nuggets of knowledge every day that you can take a bite and run with it. It's your spiritual vitamin every day. So we appreciate you so much. It really is. Absolutely. All right, my love. Anything else we need to talk about and say before we skedoodle this evening?
good to have you back. I'm glad that you're doing well, and everybody missed you, and we send you still lots of love and lots of
Oh,
strength, and just our that's contagious and it's infectious. You are infectious to all of us, so thank you.
oh,
I'm glad
well,
that you're
thank you
okay.
so much. The reason why I'm sitting in this studio tonight is because earlier today I was interviewing more people for my Conversations of Courage Surviving the COVID-19 Pandemic. It's where I sit down and have one on one interviews with people of all walks of life about surviving the COVID-19 pandemic. The key to the conversation is, where did you find your peace, your health, and your happiness? I talk to people today who are COVID survivors. I talk to people who lost loved ones to COVID. I talk to people who had to learn how to pivot during a time of COVID. And, it was really great interviews. And I'm going to conduct a few more before this series ends. But yes, it was really a good time. And this is the studio I use. I believe in serenity and peace. And if you notice, I have on black. I don't even have on jewelry other than my normal hand jewelry, because I want the energy to be all coming from my interviewees and not me. I just want a peaceful, serene background as they tell and share their stories.
And it definitely is. I feel like I'm going to go to a spa. So you've
Thank you.
definitely created that image.
Thank you so much. Well, Melda, we just love and adore you. She said, great show tonight.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you, Melda. We
Wamelda.
love you. Thank you, Preston, Debbie Green, Candace. We appreciate all of you guys who hang out with us each and every night. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with another edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Wednesday night, we have another great show planned for you as well, too. Reneé will be here with us tomorrow night. And my radio brother, Mr. Chris Bass, will be sitting in on Wednesday night. And we'll be
Yay.
talking. Hey, Tamlin, how are you, my
Hi,
darling?
Miss
Hey.
Tamlin. Thanks for
We love
stopping
you,
by.
Tamlin. We do. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate all of you guys who check us out each and every night. Don't forget, I'll be back on Daytime Chicago next Tuesday. 10 to 11 a.m. WGN TV Channel 9, which is viewed here in Chicago and all across the country. And so I'm looking forward to talking about October being positive mindset, how to reset your mind, how to get up with joy and gratefulness in your heart and do all of that. Thank you, Preston. He said it was fun. Great show tonight.
Thank
Yes, it was,
you.
Preston. Because look, Preston, we on any street. Hey, any street called love. See, now I'm going to have to listen to some Ashford and Simpson as I wash my dishes tonight. Yes, that's what I'm going
and,
to have to
and
listen
and
to.
don't forget, ladies and gents, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe bell at YouTube, and then
Yes,
click that bell to get those daily reminders of the Real Chat Daddy. Don't forget to do
that's
your due
right. That's
diligence.
right. That's right. Please go over to YouTube as well as Facebook. Subscribe to the Real Chat Daddy Show. It's free. It's easy. Does not cost you anything. It helps us to get larger numbers for the show so that we're able to market the show and do other things with it. We really do appreciate you guys. Candid Conversation with K and K Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on the
Yes.
Ladies Lovely page. Do you ladies have anything scheduled? You can tell us tomorrow night what you have scheduled for
Yeah,
this week.
that's fine. That'll be
Okay,
fine.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. Well, on
Yeah.
behalf of yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims, and my co-host, the amazing Miss K. Reneé of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. For more information about me, please visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. K. Reneé, you've done an outstanding job as always, my love. Have a wonderful evening. Fall is definitely setting in. It's cuddling season.
I need a cuddle buddy, but you
Oh,
gotta look good now. I can't just, if you're gonna be my cuddle buddy,
well, now you went from needing a masseuse to now you finally need a cuddle buddy.
I
See
need a
that?
cuddle buddy.
I think the masseuse was kind of the cuddle buddy. I'm just
That
saying.
too.
Right,
That
right,
too.
right.
If he can be that too, I'm okay with that.
You okay with that? All right. Well, I'm here to tell you, honey, it makes a difference when you got a cuddle buddy and a masseuse all rolled in.
Amen to that.
Amen. All right. And that's not how I got a hernia. On behalf of K. Reneé and yours truly, our Chat Daddy Sims, we just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you guys again for all the phone calls, text messages, posts. I heard from heads of state, political leaders, everybody. And no, you guys, I had no idea I'd ended up in the hospital. I just thank God it went back down. They were able to send me back home, but I will go back the end of the month to have the surgery. It's an outpatient procedure, and I'll be on the Halloween weekend. So I won't be able to do anything Halloween weekend. So I got to get all my appearances and everything done before this surgery. So, all right. We love you guys so very much. God bless you all. Have a beautiful night. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the dot. We love you. We do. We do. Stay out of trouble, please.
I'll try.
No, I need you to promise me you're going to stay out of trouble.
Okay, big brother Chat Daddy. I promise to stay
out
of trouble.
You promise, boo. You promise.
I promise to stay out of trouble.
Whatever. I love you. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy.